Coming up, I'll talk about another pair of smart glasses that I am very interested in, and I'll compare them with their features to the Ray-Ban Metas and the Oakley Metas. Stick with me.
From Studio B in Swarthmore, this is iCantCU. Now, here's David.
Welcome back to iCantCU, your window into a world where blindness doesn't dictate ability. My name is David, at David Benj on all the socials. I'm really glad you're here for this episode, and I'm sorry I've been nowhere to be found over the last month. But I really wanted to talk today about the Ally Solos. They are a new smart glasses that are coming out at the end of September by the company called Envision. Now, the difference between them and the Ray-Ban Meta glasses are primarily they are smart glasses for blind folks and low vision folks. They are not a social media production type of smart glasses that happens to do AI and help blind folks out. These were made, the Ally Solos were made specifically for folks who are blind and low vision. And on White Canes Connect episode 143, Lisa and I spoke to Karthik Cannon from Envision, who told us all about the upcoming glasses. Now, I really love the idea of these. They are a little bit more expensive than the Ray-Bans that I already own. And I'll get into a couple of differences as well. But one of the things that I love and am excited about these Ally Solos are that they are smart glasses first, not a social media content producer first with AI attributes. They will not record video as of now. Maybe in the future they will. They can take pictures at this point once they come out, but right off the bat, they will not shoot video. They have a lot of great things going into them. And with some of the issues that I've had with my Ray-Bans as of late, I'm really excited to try them out. And I'm just looking forward to something. Again, just like my phone, I have a love-hate relationship with the Ray-Ban Metas because of some of the things that go on. I was in the car the other day with Liz, and I had these glasses on because it was sunny out at the time, but it was going to be dusk and then nighttime by the time we were coming back. And I hate to have my sunglasses on at nighttime, not like the Corey Hart song. I'd rather not wear my sunglasses at night because what I see, which is very limited, is even less if it's dark out and I have the sunnies on. So I wore the Ray-Bans because of that. We were going to be outside, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to put these on just in case it's really bright out. I didn't think it would be too bad because of where we were going. We were going to an old neighbor's house. Not that they're old. I mean, they're older than us, but but a former neighbor. Let's put it that way. So we were going there, and I thought, okay, I'll wear these. And I hesitated because of all the things that go on with the Ray-Ban Metas, and I'm guessing with the Oakley Metas as well, where I was having a conversation with somebody and all of a sudden texts and WhatsApp messages started coming in. And I had to ask the person I was right across from a table, hey, could you repeat that? Because I'm getting all these notifications. And it's annoying to someone you're having a conversation with for that to happen. And I know that I could have dismissed them or shut down the glasses, but I didn't want to do that. It's just something that my my issue is when I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, I forget that I've put it on Do Not Disturb, and then people can't get a hold of me. And so I tend not to unless it's something pretty important. So that's one of the issues. Now, the other day, as I mentioned, Liz and I are in the car. We're driving. We were actually picking up the pizza for our Pizza by the Pool night with our former neighbors. They have a pool. And on the way to pick up the pizza, I got a call. And the call kept switching between my glasses and the headset of my phone and back and forth and back and forth. Now, that happens occasionally with my AirPods when I'm sitting in front of the computer and maybe I'm listening to a podcast on my phone, but I just came down to check something really quick on the computer. I basically take one AirPod out and I listen to what my computer's telling me, but the podcast continues to play. Because if I stop the podcast, then my computer comes through my AirPods and all is gone, because then it takes me 3 minutes to reset my AirPods to go back to recognizing just the phone and not the computer after I exit Studio B. So that was one of the issues. And it's a pretty big issue because I hate to take a call when I have the glasses on. I finally had to take the glasses off and sit them on my lap and just hold the phone. And that's how I was able to continue the call. So those two things, and it happened to be, it happened to be the same person that I was talking to, both the conversation a few days earlier in person where I kept getting these notifications, as well as the person I was on the phone with just the other day. So it's just an issue. And I am hopeful that it works really well, meaning the Ally Solos work really well when it's paired to your phone. I don't know that it will. And I'm hesitant. I didn't order them right off the bat when they started doing the pre-sale because they had them for a great price. They were under $400 for the pre-sale. And I believe right now they're $499. I didn't order them because I went to order them and I looked at them and I remembered the Celeste glasses, which were something that I got in on the beta. They were over $600 and they were so uncomfortable, I couldn't wear them for more than a couple of minutes. So I'm hesitant because of that. And a friend of mine told me, hey, you know what? They have a 30-day return policy. Just get them and try them out. And if you don't like them, you can send them back. So unless they've gone up again, I will probably get them. There's a couple of other things that may play into it as well, but I'm really excited for them because when the Ray-Ban Metas work, they are fantastic. About a week ago, I went to Harrisburg. I shot some pictures at 30th Street Station and I took some video and so forth. Now, one of the things that was really cool, I had gotten a text message from Amtrak about my train, and it was going to be Gate 9, Track 9. And I'm not really sure which side of the track or which side of the platform 9 is and 10 is. I don't want to get on the wrong train. Now, just so happens that when I went down to the platform, there was no train on Track 10, so I wouldn't have made that error. And when I got down to the train, there was somebody from Amtrak there that said, oh yeah, it's right over here, blah, blah, blah. And I got on the train, no issues. But when I walked into 30th Street Station, I had some time and I went over to the information desk, which sits right in the middle. Now they're doing a lot of construction at 30th Street Station, so it's a little bit different to maneuver through. And so I walked over to the desk and I just stood there. There was no one behind the desk. And I stood there for 5 to 10 minutes. And again, I wasn't rushed, so I wasn't panicking or anything. I was just waiting. Finally, I got tired of waiting. And I knew that there is a big board right above the desk. There is the big board that talks about all the trains and where they're going, what their train number is, when they depart, what track, what gate, so forth. So I said, hey, Meta, what's in front of me? You are looking at a desk with a big board with train schedules behind it. Okay. What can you tell me about the train to Harrisburg? And it mentioned the train number and the departure time. And it said, leaving from Track 9. So I knew that that hadn't changed, which was the main concern I had. So I went back over to Gate 9 and I just stood right outside the barriers that they open up once the train comes down or comes in. And when I said, hey, Meta, thanks. The glasses then said, you're welcome. Have a safe trip to Harrisburg. And I thought, wow, that's kind of cool. And so things like that where I don't have to take my phone out or put AirPods or earbuds in to listen because, again, the Ray-Ban Metas, just like the Ally Solos, will have has the speaker right in the stem, right near your ears. So that makes it easy to hear what's going on. Now, if it's super loud, sometimes it's difficult. But for the most part, you can always hear what's going on. And when, as I've mentioned before, when you listen to music on the Ray-Ban Meta's, outstanding. It sounds great. When you listen to emails, again, sounds great. Now, I've had issues when listening to emails, as I've mentioned in the past, at a doctor's office, and they called my name. I didn't hear them because I was paying attention to the email, and it was just loud enough that I couldn't hear them call my name. But again, all of that stuff is great, but some of the things that make it hard sometimes for me to say, oh, let me grab the Ray-Bans over my plain old dumb Oakleys that are not any kind of smart glasses. I just put them on and they just do what they're supposed to do, keep the sun out of my eyes, and they wrap around so nothing comes in, and they're outstanding. And to that point, I record every week something called Federation Focus over on the NFB of Pennsylvania channel at NFB of PA, if you want to check that out. Every week I do a video there. So that's that's where I've been holding out on you guys. If you want to see that, just go to the NFB of PA channel, again, at NFB of PA on YouTube. And I talk about the different events that are coming up each week, meetings and fundraisers and things like that. The last one was actually pretty good because we were in the hotel for the state convention, and I took some B-roll there. I shot some other in front of the camera stuff there. And I love doing that stuff. I would love to do that more for this channel, for you to see if you're not listening. If you're listening, I will release it as a podcast episode because my intention is there will be audio description. And if you are fully sighted and you're listening to me, when you use let's say you're using Apple TV or Prime on your phone and you have audio description on, you don't need to see what's going on because the audio description tells you. I've been watching a show called Countdown on Prime, and the audio description is outstanding. I watch the screen occasionally, and sometimes it's kind of funny because depending on how the dialogue is, Joe gets into his car. Meanwhile, in the video that I'm watching, Joe is still walking to the car. And it's kind of funny. I'm like, oh, I hope I could see that if they say there's a big explosion or something like that. I get excited for something like that if it says beforehand. Obviously, if it's after, and maybe I can't see the big fireball, but I can at least hear the explosion. Still pretty cool. So when I do videos for whichever channel, because I've had some mistakes in the past where when I've processed the audio, any kind of sound that you might have heard was wiped out because it wasn't me speaking. So I'm going to be very intentional when I do something where I'm not just standing here in Studio B talking to you, addressing the camera. So I'm hopeful that once these Ally solos come out, I'll be able to give them a good run, whether it's when I go up to see Jane in New York. Laugh for Sight is October 27th, and tickets will go on sale soon, usually right after Labor Day, and that's at laughforsight.com. I will let you know when that happens because that's always fun, and I've been talking to Brian about it. There's a few confirmed folks for it at this point. There are still a lot of folks to bring in. I know one of the groups, two of the people coming in are a husband and wife, Bonnie McFarlane and Rich Voss. They were... We didn't realize the first time we had seen them, and Jane and I were laughing because Jane said, oh, I really loved Bonnie, and Bonnie had gone on before Rich, and she was saying how dumb her husband was and this and that and the other, and then Rich came on, and he said something about his wife. Oh, yeah, she was just on before me. And so it just was hysterical, the way she was she was talking about him. So again, it's a lot of fun. If you're in the Northeast and you can get to New York City, October 27th, it's Laugh for Sight at the Gothem Comedy Club. Once tickets are on sale, I'll have links in the description and show notes, and you'll be able to go and order them. And they have an auction beforehand. They do some live auction items. The live auction items are usually pretty pricey. This year, I know one of the live auction items is lunch in LA for two with Henry Winkler. So that should be very cool. I'm interested to see how that goes. I am not going to bid on that. I'm not carrying that kind of cash around. I'm interested when the Ally Solos come out, how they perform compared to the Ray-Ban Metas. Because again, there are some issues, and I don't know. It's just a difficult thing to talk with the Ray-Ban sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't hear you. Sometimes, most times, dictation is crazy. And I usually do dictation because of the way my hands are. I usually, like Liz watched me the other day drop my phone, and I can only guess how much that is hurting my phone. And it's not that old. I think we've had it coming up on 2 years. So it's a 15. So maybe the 17s. I need one in a bubble wrapped case when I use it. But using dictation to send a text message, I have to preface, I'm using the Ray-Ban Metas to dictate this, so it may not come out exactly as I say. And sometimes Jane will get it. Sometimes you don't have any idea what I've just dictated. So I'm interested in the Ally Solos because of that, because there are some gaps like that in the performance that make it difficult to wear them. A lot of times when I'm going somewhere, I will think long and hard, do I really need these? Because if I don't, I'll wear the Oakley dumb glasses, which will keep the sun out of my eyes and do nothing else. Or do I take the Ray-Bans, which again, I have the transition lenses. So when I'm inside in a store or it's dark out, like I mentioned, they are almost clear. In fact, I think they are clear. I can't really tell. But in the hot sun, when it's really bright out and I'm out and about walking around, they get dark. So it's nice. They're very comfortable. That's one thing I really like about them. I could wear them all day without bothering me. So again, not like the Celeste glasses. So I'm interested with the Ally Solos because I love not taking my phone out to wave it around and try and hear what I'm seeing, or having to take a picture and use Be My Eyes. And you can do all that with the Ray-Ban Metas, and hopefully with the Ally Solos will be similar to that. Now, you probably have to learn a few more phrases to get it to do what you want it to do, but I'm excited for that. So check out episode 143 of White Canes Connect. The easiest way is whitecanesconnect.com/143, or find it on Apple, Spotify, and all the other places you get podcasts. But I'm really excited to try those, and also a little bit nervous because, again, I don't want to have an issue with, again, the Celeste glasses. The ears it was so wide, they just hurt like you wouldn't believe. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so when I do drop a new video, you get notified right away and you can check it out. I've got a lot of great episodes coming up. I've got some traveling going on, like I mentioned, coming up to New York and Harrisburg and Baltimore in a couple of weeks. So you'll get all that, and I'll hopefully be putting out more content. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you for joining David on this episode of iCantCU. Please subscribe on your favorite platform, like and comment on this episode on YouTube.